That was enough for me. I learned my lesson.
Right.
A lot of people don't learn their lesson. If you get a lesson, you're supposed to learn that lesson and as best as you can, not repeat it
Right.
if it wasn't a good lesson.
So hear what I say, for it is the truth you seek. There can only be one, the original.
OG. 2 letters that define respect. Welcome to the original OGs. I created the original OGs to document the forgotten parts of American history. I want to recognize and give a voice to the men and women that have climbed to the top of their game. Believe me, the men and women that sit in front of this marquee have been authenticated as original OGs. My name is Mr. Rick. Welcome to my world, a world of the originals, the unique. Welcome to the original OGs. Welcome to the original OGs, and I'm your host, OG Mr. Rick. Today, we have a very special guest. This brother is very dear to my heart. I'm here today because of him. This show could not exist without him. He's been a mentor, a spiritual guide, a big brother, and a business partner. I take the time to say this right now because this is very dear to me. And today I'm going to introduce him to you, and I want to introduce him as a triple OG. We don't give that title out very much, but this brother is very deserving. He is none other than the Archbishop Don Magic Juan. Ain't it, man?
God bless you, Mr. Rick.
Bless you, brother, and thank you.
Hey, thank you, man. I'm just glad to have this opportunity. And not only that, I'm just glad to be home to be able to
Yes, sir.
do this interview with you, and I'm thankful and just want to say hello out there to all of the rest of the OGs. It's been a journey.
Yes, sir. It's been a good one. You have paved the way for many, many people. You've been instrumental in many people's lives. You've saved marriages. You've saved careers. You've given opportunities. So that kind of places you in my mind. And I'm thinking a whole lot of other people's minds too, a cut above.
Well, the thing about it is, Mr. Rick, and you know me, I mean, when I meet somebody, when I'm dealing with somebody, I don't show them my strength. I show them theirs.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I always tell people I'm a team player, and I don't mind playing the background any kind of way if it support the situation, and I tell anybody, in order to become a leader, you first got to be a servant.
Follower.
You know what I mean? If you can't serve, how you expect to be served?
How you do that?
Yeah, so I know who I am. I know I can step up and be boastful, but I ain't trying to show you how strong I am. I want you to see how strong you is.
Yes, sir.
I want to bring the best out of you, and that's what I've been doing in life.
You definitely help bring the best out of me. I can say that.
And that's what I'm about, man. I ain't trying to let nobody think I'm no bigger than they are. And, I don't have to boast of it. I never say about who I am. I let other people boast and say that.
Yes, sir.
I do the thing to make them able to say that powerfully that, Don Juan, my man, yeah, he the best. And be able to say it knowing that I'm going to back it up because I'm going to do the best
every
I
time.
can.
Every
What I
time.
mean? Yeah. It's such an amazing journey, man, and I thank God every day. I thank him for the power that he has put in my name to where individuals are willing to pay that I make a showing that my presence is needed to be there.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That's such an anointing so strong that others can't
Man.
even understand it. But those that have been close to me have been able to get some of the spill from my full cup.
Exactly.
Without aggravation, without disrespect, I'm always a gentleman to my
Thank
kind and my people, man.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean? I ain't never try to put nobody down. Like I said, I want to build us up because when I can't get up and you up, that going to pull me up.
Yes,
and that's
sir.
what I always been about, team player, man.
Hey, man. I did have the privilege of knowing your mother. I didn't have the privilege of knowing your father, but you've kind of shared those stories with me over the many, many years. And I want to talk about them for a minute. I want to talk about how she inspired you, and most of all, what she came from in this journey in order to take that information and continue to feed you and your family spiritually.
I was too little to understand the hurt of it when my father took me away from my mother. I even asked my mother in later days, I said, how could he do this? I said, wasn't it police? She said, yeah, but your father had money. So I assumed it in them days, money's running, you know what I mean? I didn't know the hurt. And I stayed with my father something like 8, 9 years before he passed, and then I was able to go live with my mother. So I said it was like this. My father taught me about that money. He put that there. Mom showed me about that love. And I had to be able to balance them together to be able to bring a mixture that I was going to be able to present myself where folk would see, hey, is money, is love there.
Hey.
You know what I mean? My father, you know what I mean, even couldn't read or write, but he had buildings in the 50s, you know what I mean? Restaurants, ice cream parlor.
Wow.
You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I'm 5 years old. I'm
Right.
standing on milk crate selling penny candy to the kids. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Yeah, and the restaurant is sitting right where the United Center is
Exactly.
sitting right now. It was 1811 West Madison.
That's where I
and
wanted
we
to
used
go.
to sit right across from the Chicago Stadium.
Right.
I used to go in there free with the ice capades and different things. I knew the different guys that used to park in the parking lot. Park, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I'm like a little rich kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? And after my father and mother decided that they would talk again, I was able to reach out to my other brother and sister. So when I go to the weekend, I got money. I'm bringing them candy and tater chips and stuff from the
Right.
restaurant and things like that. So I was able to share some of that with them. But when my father died, here come the drama now.
Exactly.
I got to go live with my mother with 6, 7 more brothers and sisters. Ain't no money nowhere. I'm spoiled triple.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I know that. So in later years, I tried to make up for my daddy and me with my mom.
Exactly.
Because when I got to be with my mom, I'm her baby. And I know I was such a burden on her.
Right. How do I figure that out? Yeah. No, I clearly understand, and I wanted to give you the opportunity to share that because there are a lot of people think they know your story.
Well, after I understood and know what I put her through and what my father put her through, I wanted to make up for it. And I feel like I did.
I think so.
When I got there with my mother, all my other brothers, but she just gave me that love.
Exactly.
But I used to worry, man. I used to
To death.
cry, man. I wanted something. She couldn't tell me that she didn't have no money and all of these things,
You didn't understand that. Brother, 3 or 4 of us, including myself, have expressed ourselves in the way that you are now. So I want you to feel blessed and comfortable in doing and telling your story the way you're telling it, brother.
Well, man, the thing about it is, though, it all worked out.
Yes, sir.
The part about the love and the part about the money, I was able to balance it out and to decide what I really, really, really wanted to do. And that's what I wanted to be a pimp player or, really a nightlifer.
That's
You
the word.
know, I used to hang in my daddy's restaurant, so I'm seeing everything. You know, a pool hall down the street. I got a chance to witness some guy getting shot right out on the middle of the street, and you know what I mean. And like I said, after my father died, man, you know, I had to man up.
There it is. You know, in saying all of that, makes me think about my life, relating to your story. And when I put all that together, it calculates who I am. So my question to you is, when and what makes you unique?
What makes me unique is originality.
Thank you very much.
You know, what you see is what you get. I don't think nobody else gives you as much originality as me. As if anybody do come close, it's mostly an entertainer, and he got a stage that he been doing for 50 years. You know what I mean? I'm, you know, on hand, you know what I mean? Like I tell people, you know, and they have realized it over the year that that's him. That's how he is. You know, I can come to the gym room with a suit on and play ball. That's how he is.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
what he do.
That's what he do.
Yeah, it's originality. If somebody said he gonna be like this, it's pretty much he gonna be like that. You know?
Right.
And I can think of a time though, Tyrone Davis, he had a big event, and I really wanted to go to it. You know, conservative, but top flight, sharp, material suit,
Right.
everything. You know what I mean? So when I got there, Tyrone to me say, "Hey man, what you doing?"
You
He
taking the
wanted me
show?
to have the flash. I'm trying to do tuxedo
Right.
black.
Hey,
and-
man, I
know
want
what
you to
mean?
bring you.
That's what, man. I did the thing for Ice-T. He renewed his vows.
Oh, wow.
And I said, well, maybe I hate to put the, hey man, he said, put them glasses, do
Man,
you.
what's wrong with you? That's
You
what
know
I
what I mean?
want.
And I realized that, you know what I mean, I just be me is what it is because that's what they're looking
That's
for.
what people have grown to expect. That's what they've grown to respect. So when you do something else, you're like, oh no, man,
Right.
I wanted you to
They want the real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
come
because
on,
that's
now.
what they grow accustomed to and they know that's what that person do.
Exactly.
You know, and I've been pretty faithful to the green and gold, you
And
know.
that's
man.
what people look for.
Green and gold, green for the money and gold for the honey. That's cold that cup didn't fall.
Ain't it, man? But see, that's what my partner kept asking me. Well, you know, make sure. I say, hey, man, I'm not even finna ask that brother that, man. I know this brother, man. I already know what's finna happen. You know what I'm saying? And when you walked in the door, I said, oh, wow, man, you just sock people in the eye with it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, man, a guy told me a while back he didn't went on, you know, Jeepers. And he's one of the guys that I know from way back with, you know, tailor-made stuff. He said, man, your fashion is your fortune. And I
Bam.
always say that, man, and they would respect him from him because he know about dressing.
Yeah, the old man Jeepers.
Yeah.
God bless him. You came up in the Henry Horner area, the United Center, all of that, correct?
Right.
How did you not escape, but how did you not enter into they call it the gang life, but I call it organizations? How did you go around that?
You can't go around it. I had my gang days.
You see what I'm saying?
7 hoods for life, baby.
You
Vice
see what
Lord.
I'm saying? By law.
You know what I mean? It's pretty hard to escape.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, you live on the block, everybody picking on you and this and that, you know what I mean? And then earlier time, it was for cover for the senior citizen and telling the young people to go to school, and the gang did their thing. It wasn't so much of what they showed us. You know, as you know, those that in high places, control the news. They never showed you the good things that were
Exactly.
done. The feeding programs, and
Thank
you know
you.
what I mean, to walk to school, make sure that little kid's safe and different
Thank
things. And they talk about things. I'm just so disappointed because I know back in the day, man, if something happened to one little kid, the whole neighborhood ran up.
Okay.
I mean, and I
Wow.
hear today 6-year-old, 10-year-old thing that
Getting
nobody
murdered.
hollering out, no mother crying, no
No,
mother
nothing.
making a big scene at the station or nowhere. What's happening here? You know what I mean? And to come through that organization, really in the earlier day, they were trying to show us blacks a way. I
Exactly.
mean, things happened. They had gang banging, killings, and robberies and different things. But that's because 40% of the gang was infiltrated by people that
Thank you.
into different things that even the organization didn't want to do. They encouraged bad things and things like that. You know what I mean? They turned different individuals against each other by pulling them to
Exactly.
the side saying, I'm going to give you the money, just like they was doing with singing groups, taking one out, making them the lead.
You see
You
what I'm
know, the
saying?
organizations, like the Black Panther, people never know. They make you think they were so violent, but man, a lot of people was eating.
Because of them.
Getting an education and getting a true understanding about their ancestors and different things like that they are refusing to teach in school. So they cut that off, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you know what I mean? Come on, man. Gang activity wasn't as bad as they projected it to be. It was a fun thing. We was going to the movie house together, going to the Riverview together, you know what I mean? Doing things in our neighborhood together. You know what I mean? But like I said, you can't really skip it. I mean, some people take their kids and they can move to suburb, but we couldn't do
Hey,
that.
but when you stuck there,
We had to go through the hood of it all. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? One of my friends was at a function last night. The 7 hoods we was in, he was telling them, for me to join the gang, first I had to box the best
Exactly.
boxer in the gang.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so we were talking about that. I didn't feel bad once I boxed. Now I got a whole gang of really good friends.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's portrayed it, and like I said, it go both ways. And like I said, as we got older, we was learning it wasn't just the gang making that, it was people that are infiltrating the gang, to disturb the gang, to create the thing. After I was learning, seeing about the Black Panther thing, and the guy that infiltrated it, he even killed himself, the drummer, with so much on it. But you know what I mean? He was encouraged, let's do more, let's bomb. You know what I mean? And he was doing it to encourage others to do things that they weren't thinking like this. So, I mean, they had us, man, and I think they still got us
they
in a
definitely
certain
got us.
kind of way.
Yeah, they just elevated their game.
Yeah, but just like you having this OG show, it gives some of the younger guys an understanding to hear some of the things of the past. They need to see how we was kicking it in the 70s and the late 60s. You know what I mean? It was a lot of love.
A whole
For
lot
us.
of love. And these organizations were doing exactly what you were talking about. Protecting the neighborhood, cleaning the neighborhood, taking care of the children, making sure that, they got home safely, the whole 9 yards. It was a different environment, man.
Yeah, senior citizens can walk home. Oh, hey, Miss Judy, I'll take your grocery. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Little kid. Now, why you see you can't be with to get you there to go to school? It was some
Exactly.
encouraging moments then, man, that I was encouraged.
Hey.
You know what I mean? And like you said, it was so many avenues that you can take, you know what I mean? You could be, opportunities down there. Stick up man, dope dealer, pimp, car thief. I mean, these some occupational things in the hood
Exactly.
that we seek to do, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And me, myself, not being a violent person, I didn't want to rob and kill.
Right.
And after I realized that I had that gift of what I could do with women, that's what I pursued.
Exactly. After going through that part of life and being in your adolescence and becoming a young man, what would you say was your lowest point in life?
Let me say this. Death is always the low point.
Exactly.
All my siblings gone.
Yes, sir.
I'm the only one. I'm the baby of the family.
Wow.
All of them gone.
Wow.
That's the low point automatically. COVID.
Wow.
Man, when that COVID hit me, I stayed 2 months in the veteran hospital.
Wow.
Man, and I'm talking about I was ICU for like 30-some days or better.
Wow.
Before
Struggling.
going to therapy, yeah. Couldn't breathe, man.
You had the machine.
Huh?
You had the machine.
The machine, they said, man, we doing something with him we don't do. Man, I had one mask on here, and then the other one come over. They said, we don't usually give folks two masks. The thing in my nose, that
hand down.
I said, man, I can't breathe.
Give me all that.
Yeah, man, please. And then, when I went home, got better, I took the tanks home. I was on the breathing thing. But I was under such anxiety attack. Man,
Wow.
I mean, just was tripping, man.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, I can't breathe. What happened? Were y'all trying to kill me? I mean, that
Wow.
COVID was an amazing journey. I
get
lost
it.
something like 30 pounds or something,
Yeah.
man. And,
I remember.
And to think of this, to have to live in the bed for 3 weeks.
Wow. That's crazy.
To live in the bed, in the hospital.
Right.
You don't get out for nothing.
Nothing. They got to come to you for everything. Oh, that's a real low point.
It become the toilet, it become the dish,
everything.
the restaurant, everything.
And you're a person that's used to doing everything.
Well, it had me committed to bed not to get out, because when I got out, it like all bugs went off, like, the blood pressure
Right.
jumped. They started
Everything.
panicking. Hey, get up back a little bit, everything. So they put me to
Total bed
completely
rest.
bed rest. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that gave you a lot of time to reflect back and think about, okay, Lord, if you bless me, I'm going to do this different. I want to continue this. I want to.
Yeah, but see, you learn and you get strong about faith about a lot of things, to where it don't bother you. Go in there, y'all fix it. I'm there 2 weeks. Send me on home, you know what I mean? And, like I said, definitely the faith there about believing God got a lot to do with it,
Right.
whether putting it in the doctor's hand or getting the nurse and understanding, you know what I mean? That he got to be in it. I just don't think they could do it all alone.
It's impossible.
Yeah, I don't care how powerful the surgeon
No,
is.
they ain't that
It's
powerful.
got to be.
Lord got to be present somewhere.
And the thing about it is, I spoke with the doctor, and you look for healing, and I say, hey man, do I have to take these medicine all the rest of my
Right.
life?
What's
You know
going
what I
on
mean?
here?
He said, yeah. He said, we don't heal people no more. We just prolong them.
That's it.
I said, Doc, when I was little, my mother took me to the hospital, and he said, take 2 of these, a few days, I'll be all right. And I was. I said, this don't happen no more? You don't get all right no more?
No,
He
they
said,
just
no,
want to
we
carry you
just
along.
prolong it.
Yeah, carry you right along, keep you on the
Man,
medication.
it's amazing,
Big money.
man. And I'm a veteran, and you know what I mean?
Wow.
They'll give you sack loads of man, just act. You
Tell
know,
me
man.
about it.
Yeah, man, too
Oh.
much. You have to take it upon yourself to realize that it's too much, and don't take anything. Now, if I'm here for blood clot, what I got? Hard medicine, I
All
got
that
blood
fuck.
pressure medicine, I got sleeping medicine and pain. Hold up, now I was here for one thing, now I leave with 10 things.
Having that type of experience, looking forward and looking back, want to look forward for young people. Looking back from your life and up to now, what would you tell young people what they need to prepare themselves for to prevent these situations that we're sitting here dialoguing about now?
You would have to really think powerful, because all the tools that you can really tell them been taken away.
Thank you.
You know,
very
like I
much.
say, hey, go to a trade school, go to the job center. A lot of different things, they used to have off the school things, programs.
Wiped out.
You know what I mean? Trade schools. So some of them things we would easily say, get a trade, get in. The things they didn't took out the hand. What I would tell them right now is seek love. Because that's the only thing that's going to help this generation. Nothing else. No money, you know what I mean? No rapper, no movie star, no nothing. They got to seek love is the only antidote to the situation that is taking place now. Nowhere in the world I'm 7, 8 years old and could be missing for 2 days. My big brother's going to do me.
Okay.
I'm going to get a whooping.
Man, beat my
I can't
brains
do
out.
that. I mean, so I say love is because my mother loved me so much, she still would be walking looking for me, asking everybody in the neighborhood, you
No,
seen
see,
Donna?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I just can't, that's why I said it can't be no love.
Wow.
Because love would make you do some things that these people not doing.
Wow.
That's, they child.
That's powerful, man.
So that's why I want to tell them love.
Right.
I don't see no other antidotes. You know what I mean? They getting money. Look at all the money they paying the rappers and they killing one another.
Wow.
Not even enjoy. It ain't the money.
No,
ain't none of them got love.
Hey, man.
Somebody got to give them love.
If you ain't got no love and you get some money, then what are you going to demonstrate? Because you have no love in you.
The worst thing it is, money and power, some can't handle it. It becomes destructive to many.
Believe that.
Yeah, money and power, they think they want it and they can handle it. But I mean, it'll change even the weakest minded of man.
Yes, sir.
With money.
Yes, sir.
And power.
Hey.
And the power that be for us is not there now.
Exactly.
And I mean a voice. We have no more voices crying in the wilderness for us.
Hey.
You know what I mean? To let my people go.
Right. That
We're
voice
steady in 2023 being depressed and pressured and stepped on. I mean,
wow.
In a new form to where Ku Klux Klan said, we don't have to do it. We let y'all do your own. We supply the liquor, the drugs, and the gun, and y'all go to work
y'all
on
just
each
do it
other.
for yourself. Wow, that's kind of deep to think about, and I wonder sometimes if a lot of people think about it, because I often think about it. It's so obvious that they've trained us to do it to ourselves, and we've become gun-ho about it.
Yeah, we
And no
agree
one's
to
speaking
do
out,
that.
man.
We take the manner. You know what I mean? We don't see. It don't look like we doing anything wrong because we clouded with money, the drugs, and the different things. You know what I mean? You tell the truth today, man, it's just like everybody going to run you out of town. We always know the truth hurt, but they act like the truth killed today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't even want you around for telling the truth.
Man, to tell a young man that, you know what I mean, pull his pants up, he gonna get in.
Oh, my God.
I just, just have to find some love and we can work with some of these problems. These people don't got no love among themselves. They killing each other, one another. Some guy that you growed up with on the next block. You know who you killing and you fighting, your own brother. You understand that, you see that.
Brother and neighbor. It's insane, man. I want to visit a moment because it really amazes me, and I just see God all over it. And I wanted to ask you, how did we meet?
Well, now that you brought that up,
Right.
And you just said you could see God all over it because of the relationship and the journey. So
Yes, sir.
obviously it's something meant to be. But, I'm driving down my
Right.
I really look back in the room, somebody trying to get me to flag down, hey, really. But I see in it now, you understood something that others didn't understand, that I like to be sharp.
Right.
So here you go out, hey man, listen, it was some silk suits. Man, I got that brown one, that green one, and that gray one, I think it was, man.
Yes, sir.
And from then on, the relationship began.
Hey, man.
You know what I mean? We went from the trunk of the car to the stairs of Hollywood.
For real. You know, that's very amazing. You know, I didn't know this gentleman from Adam, but I saw him. I knew who he was. And like he said, I ran behind his car, knocking on his car. Hey, man, can I talk to you, man? I got some things I think you might love, man. They fit you very well. You know what I'm saying? He was like, well, okay, meet me down at my church and I'll see what you got going on. And, hey, blessed them with some, they were raw silk suits.
Yeah,
Beautiful
man.
stuff. And, hey, man, we have been friends ever since. That's been almost 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Man, ain't that something?
Yeah, that is.
He has taken me to Hollywood, all over the country. I have made major deals. As I've said before, he's responsible for me sitting right here. So when you look at all of that, and if you can't see God's hands on that, I don't know how to explain it to you. But for me, it's a real blessing.
Yeah, for me also, you know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean? It was things done that only you could do,
Thank you.
you know, concerning me.
Yes, sir.
And the way that you could, you know, take the pieces and put them together and, you know, make sense to the other individual.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, you were speaking to millionaires and people definitely not from our block.
Thank
know
you.
what I mean? And, you know, be able to sell them the product.
Hey, because I've always believed that you were a major star. You were a shining star in our community and in this world. And I wanted to help show the world that. And I still want to do that. We're doing it now.
Yeah, it like I said, you know, I mean, as far as I know, you knowing that you always believed in me.
Yes, sir. Always
You know
will.
what I mean? You know, you always came with a deal or with a plan or with an understanding. You know what I mean?
Hey, wait a minute. I got to say this, church. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
I used to come with so many deals to this gentleman and so much business stuff that he would be like, oh, God, here come Mr. Rick, man. I'm trying to drink and enjoy myself. I know what he finna do. He finna start bending my ear. Not right now, man. You know.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? It be that way where you want to tell it right now before you lose that thought.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, all you have to do is give me a piece of it, and I said, cool, you gone.
Yeah, go and work it. You know,
what
if you
I
can
mean?
work it, work
Yeah,
it.
just give me a piece of it and know what you're doing, go on work it.
man.
You know what I
Beautiful
mean? And a lot of it really turned into some prosperity and
Yes, sir.
profitable times, man.
Hey,
and
man.
Gave us a chance to enjoy some good times and
Some
you
beautiful
know,
stuff,
yeah,
man.
Yeah,
You know.
I get it. Like you said, it had to be God all over because it worked.
It sure did. And we're here. Hey, you know, and I've learned so much from you. You gave me so much opportunity to season myself in different areas, man, that, you know, I could never thank you enough.
Well, the thing about it is, and it's maybe some of the viewers should learn from this, you know what I mean? People come into your life with opportunities. If they mean well, give them a shot. You know, it ain't going to always be the guy from the corporate office, you know what I mean, with the
Exactly.
necktie and the white suit on. It could be one of your friends with the sneakers and, you know what I mean, some jeans on. You know what I mean? And it's all about a person believing in an individual. You
Yes,
know what
sir.
I mean? And you know that individual believing that that individual will see something.
Exactly.
Because, you know what I mean? I don't look at myself. So you do.
Exactly.
You see something I don't.
Exactly. Hey, give me
My
the
two
opportunity.
eyes go here.
Right.
I
You
look
can't
at
look
me.
down like this all
Yeah.
behind you. You know what I'm
So
saying?
you looking, you see something.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? With your eyes that I can't see.
And you showed me the respect to allow me to be able to manifest what I saw.
Where you showed you meant what you said.
Yes, sir.
if something happened, that's a different thing. You know what I mean? Production was slower. The people didn't show up down or this and that, this
Exactly.
thing. But you did what you said you was going to do.
Exactly.
And that's the thing that I'm saying why I'm here. Because you
Exactly.
did what you said you was going to do. So I'm
Exactly.
here to do what I'm supposed to do.
Thank you.
So it all click in
And
with
here
what
we
we're
are.
talking about.
Man, it's a beautiful thing, man. And I'm very grateful. This show has the intent to define what a real OG is, what an original OG is. My partner and I have developed a method to ensure that if someone should sit in front of this OG logo, that they have been authenticated and found to be true in their history as far as what an OG is. You know, you began at one point in your life to counsel different entertainers and business people and etc. What made you feel like they needed you in that space?
You know, a lot of people don't know this, but this is the serious truth. I moved spiritually. I feel that it was my assignment.
I get it. That's about as perfect as you could put it.
Well, and the reason I say that is because I take whatever that individual had to dish out without no disrespect. It ain't about me, my feelings, and none of them things. It's the understanding. Well, I use Snoop since it's so new for an example.
Right.
When I came into Snoop life, it was confusion, disrupt, gone, hanging with 100 guys every day, the whole thing.
Right.
But I was on a mission.
Right.
God sent me there. So I'm protected.
Right.
My mother went to the grave with thoughts of thinking that I might get hurt because she heard about these Suge Knights and all of
that
these different
stuff.
things. And it looked like I stepped right into the fire.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it was a mission that I was on. God wanted to save that young man. God wanted to mature that young man. God
Yes,
wanted
sir.
to give that man life. And he had to use me to do it.
To do it. Yes,
To
sir.
calm him down, to calm his nerve, to give him a chance to think about what life really is. I told him, you cannot run with 100 guys a day. It's too draining.
Exactly.
And especially if they ain't putting nothing in, they taking it all
They're
out of you.
just draining you.
It had got so that me and Snoop were so close. His wife even wondered, how did the connection even occur?
Right.
But
How
it
did
had-
you guys get like this?
She said in the Rolling Stone magazine, how did he even meet the man like that? She don't know how it happened. You know, and people would have thought I'm there with some player stuff telling them to
Oh,
leave
no.
his wife. No.
No.
Stay home. Take care of your family. These the values I was giving him. You got a family. You can do this in the street, but once you lose that, this street life still ain't gonna show you love.
At all.
Do what you're doing. And I feel proud to know that I was part of that input. The change is like to give him another chance. People said Snoop should do this and do that. Snoop can't do what I really need, and
Right.
that's life. And God can only give
Only
me that.
do that.
And that's why I say I'm on mission. God had me on mission with Woody Lord, different
All these.
individuals that you see you there for a purpose.
Exactly.
You can't leave. You know you shouldn't be here.
But you're supposed
got
to be there.
You got to be there.
Right.
It's your mission.
Exactly.
I mean, it had even got to the thing where Suge would call me and say, I respect you, man. And you know what I mean? They didn't block me off and things. And I'm from Chicago. I ain't spooked about nothing. What's
Man,
happening?
I done seen all this.
You know what I mean? What's happening?
Right.
You know what I mean? And he even reached out to a friend of ours, King Barrett, to say, why did the bishop come here? Why he with Snoop? Man, I'm on some player stuff, getting
Man,
my
get on
grind
away from
on.
here, man,
I have
with that.
nothing to do with y'all gang banging business or meetings or none
I
of
ain't
that.
in none of that.
Hey, it's spiritual to this guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? I'm thankful to see God work. I take no credit because it's God's doing.
Exactly. You know, that brings me to a very important point. People call you Don Bishop, or they say Bishop Don Magic Juan. But I don't think they know the reality of the bishop part. You know, I think most people think that you just added that to your name, but that ain't how it went. So I'm going to ask you to share how that came about and where you were actually authenticated with the paperwork as bishop.
I'm an officially ordained minister,
Thank you.
recognized by the state of Illinois with a 501c3, recognized as a charitable, proper,
Charitable organization.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
And
You went to
I,
what?
I with the Moody's Bible Institute.
Thank you very much.
Moody is known to be the second largest, most reputable Bible school in the country
Established in 1886, I believe it was.
by Mr. Moody.
Yes, sir.
When they had the Chicago Fire,
Yes,
part of
sir.
one of the things that stood.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I need people to know that so that they don't think that that's just something you made up. No, that was something that you went to school the proper way, earned it, used it, came back out here, built a church, built an organization, went into the community, and did all of these things.
And even ran for alderman of the 29th Ward. Was on the ballot
Wow.
with number 17. Didn't run because, at the time, Danny Davis, they held it tight there.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I had the church and I'm in the community. I'm feeding, I'm getting clothing. I know
All
how
of
to
that.
give back. I understand the situation.
Wow.
I don't have to be told and act. I know
Exactly.
what they need down there
You've been down there.
with them.
Okay.
And still go
Man.
down there.
All the time.
And so when people said a bishop, I went through the ranks. I did evangelistic work. I spent something like 8 years at Moody Bible Institute.
Wow.
Do you know I got there coming in as a pimp?
Wow.
God had just saved me in 1985. And when I come to Chicago from Los Angeles, I asked my sister-in-law, what can I find Bible? She said, go down to Moody's.
Wow.
I didn't know nothing about Moody.
Right.
It was a Monday.
Wow.
I went down to Moody's and I went into registration. They called the main lady of registration,
Wow.
which was a black lady. And she said, let me tell you this. Because when I got there, I drove up in the road mink coat. They had the
Right.
security, then came,
Right.
all this, you know what I mean? So I said, I just want to register in the school. I'm trying to find God, not more than anything.
Right.
I didn't got touched.
Right.
She said, okay, but she said, you know what? Now, this was a Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I never watch TV on Sunday.
Wow.
She said, I walked past the TV, and there was a program on the news said this pimp had just got saved.
Wow.
She said, if I'd not seen that, I'd have not registered you in this school.
Wow. Ain't that something?
Ain't that God?
Who else could it be?
And once I got into school, they don't know how to deal with me. I'm a high school dropout. We
Right.
college now. And you know what I mean?
Right.
I can't keep up with all of this.
Right.
God gave me the guy. I don't know if you ever met him, Dr. Rasher.
I sure did.
He became my spiritual advisor.
And sometimes he still comes up on Madison to see.
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
He passed on now.
Oh, wow.
God bless his
God
soul,
rest
though. But he got to know my family. He told me one thing. He said, if you dedicate yourself to come twice a week and on time, then I'll tutor you.
Wow.
They didn't want to put me out to school because they were trying to make a statement.
Right.
You know what I mean? It would have been bad for them.
Right.
So they kept me in there. And do you know, after the time of being in there, Moody started flying me around the country.
Wow.
With their plane to aviation places, speaking. I'm there representing
Ain't
Moody.
that something? If that ain't
I
God.
have spoke at chapel to over 1,300 foreign students
Wow.
from all over Romania, everywhere, Yugoslavia, all of this.
Wow.
I become friends with some guys from India. A guy from India told me, he said, 2,000 of us in groups of 50s prayed for you, your name only,
Wow.
in India.
Wow.
His name was Anand. And Anand, if you see this interview, you know I still remember you, brother.
Hey, man, that is beautiful. But I wanted the audience to know that part of your life so that they can understand what your mission truly is. You know.
It was truly a conversion. You know, I mean, God came into my life in California, told me to get rid of the drugs, put the PC down, give up the
Wow.
pimping. I mean, it's like I can hear his voice the way we're speaking.
Wow.
I called the girls and told them they couldn't go on the streets no more. This is 1985.
Wow.
You know, I said, I don't know why. They said, why? I said, I don't know why. I called my mother and I said, Mom, I just been saved. I don't know. I'm telling her this. She said, call a preacher. She gave me a preacher number. And I called the number and I told the preacher, he said, yeah, I know it. All of this like getting me come from me. I
Wow.
wonder how he know it. I don't
Right.
know you.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it's amazing. And God said things he was going to do. He said, after 3 years, I'm going to get you a church. I mean, the whole thing,
It all happened.
it all happened. And you got to understand, it was like they said, my testimony, like Paul, you know, you got to understand coming from the pimp life, the things I was doing and the change like that, you know, people couldn't believe it.
Right. Exactly. And definitely couldn't accept it.
Well, not the way I was giving it. You know what I mean? Because what this guy said, he said, the only thing changed on you is your eyes. Meaning, you know, my eyes used to be high,
Right,
red, and
right.
this and that. You know what I mean?
Right.
He mean, you still sharp.
Hey, you still the same guy.
Man, I was going into prison ministry with this jewelry on and everything. Talking to a guy that had 3 lives. I said, how you gonna live? How they gonna get you for 3 lives? You ain't got one.
Right.
Yeah, I got three life conviction. I'm talking. I'm in the jail like this.
Right.
Man, I went to Tennessee, Temple, and Chattanooga. I mean, I'm going all over the world. I'm doing evangelism to some Korean people in Wisconsin.
Wow.
They had me in Washington to the African people and doing evangelism. And the African folks is the most nicest people you can meet. He was the son of a king of Guyana.
Wow.
And he let me have their bed and their room and everything. They was eating some kind of stuff called gosh. I said, I don't do that. What you eat, man? He said, I got me some Oscar Mayer hot dogs and some frosted flakes. You know what I mean?
Right.
But everywhere I went, Mr. Rick, it was somebody there out of the 1,000. One lady said something about her son and 3 pray. Everywhere I go, it's somebody. It ain't just a group. It's one person God wants to seek me out
Ain't that
for a
something?
certain something.
Ain't that something?
It is an amazing journey, man. And, you know, I thank God that he could use me like that and would allow to use me based on what I went through. But then I realized once he cleaned it up, you don't have to worry about the people, what they saying.
Exactly.
It's all on him. If he allowed you, you know what I mean, that anointing to be able to move like this, people
There it
wonder,
is.
how would all of that jewelry, you move among them in the hood, you done been everywhere. I said, because it's an anointing and all gentlemen and chiefs all over the world has given me that path.
Hey, because you were sent to them.
Cause yeah,
You know, one thing people may not know, I doubt if many people know, your mother was a prophetess. Is that correct?
I truly believe it. You know, cause in one touch of a documentary, she said it herself. I didn't know
Right.
that God said when he's born, he was gonna be a special kind of child.
Wow.
and the labor that my mother had having me, I think I was crossed up or something, cross-eyed or
Yeah,
something, like she
wasn't
had
in
some
normal position.
tremendous, labor.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And she said God spoke to her that this was going to be a special kind of child.
Wow. Hey, man, a lot of people ask me, they say,
Wow.
if you could do something different, if you could start over and change something in your life or change things in your life, what would you change? What would you say to that? Because I said nothing.
I would like to see my mother and father together.
Oh, I get it. Yes, sir. That's powerful. I think I can go there. I can go there because that's one thing I would definitely would have loved to
Yeah,
see.
I would have liked to see that.
Wow, that's beautiful. My mind would go that I would like, people would say I'd like to be rich or I'd like to come from this family or that family. But I believe for me, had I not went through all of the tragic parts of my life, that it would not have made me the person that I am.
Right.
That was a building process that God was taking me through to become me. So I always leave it there.
And this the thing about it today, you know what I mean? Nobody's instilling that in these young people, the love and the understanding about what you might face later in life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Nobody is telling them that do's and don'ts really,
Wow.
and they don't get a chance to enjoy life. They missing it. Like to me, the best decade ever had to be the 70s.
Wow, I strongly believe that.
Yeah.
I strongly
the
believe
70s was
that was a
amazing.
whole nother space there.
Yeah.
Wow. And right after that, they came at us. Oh, they came at us in a strong way. Drugs came from everywhere.
And my life been, what I mean, amazing. It ain't much I want to change. You could always do better.
Oh, without a doubt.
Different things, but it ain't much I would want to change.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I think I can agree to that.
It's been an amazing journey, man, and I have really protected my life, and what I mean by that is by caring for myself.
Right.
I don't do anything to me.
Right.
I have a certain honor and respect to me.
For you, yes.
You know what I mean? That I wouldn't do to me.
Right.
That has prolonged my life and, longevity in the game.
Hey, you have been blessed to define your space, your person, become the person that you've always been striving to be. We all go through that. We have this person in our mind, and we're going through life trying to build that person. Sometimes we get off track. Maybe sometimes it doesn't happen. But the person after that incident is what I see of what I believe that you've always wanted to see.
Well, I believe this. You're supposed to learn from your mistakes.
Yes, sir.
I robbed a little boy for $10. Police ran behind me. I didn't know he was across the street. And I ran, and the police ran behind me. I ran through the house. Police ran behind me. And he said, "Stop, I'm going to shoot you." And he was that close to me.
Right.
And I stopped. The judge, people know them at the time, was called Judge Epton.
Mm-hmm.
He really was doing us a
Big
number.
time job.
When I came before him, he said 21 days. But before they took me, he said, no, 60 days.
Mm.
So after doing what they call 49 days in a week,
Mm-hmm.
that was enough for me. I learned my lesson.
Right.
A lot of people don't learn their lesson. If you get a lesson, you're supposed to learn that lesson, and as best as you can, not to repeat it
Right.
if it wasn't a good lesson.
Exactly.
I mean, it's understanding why would we compete a bad lesson?
We have to grow into
Because we hadn't learned.
that. I bear you witness because I'm one of them people.
Well, I'm just saying it happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we pray that we are held and protected until we learn.
Exactly.
Because, you know what I mean, some don't get an opportunity
Hello.
to learn from their mistake and they're not here now.
And exactly, they don't get a chance to redeem themselves through those things. And like you say, we end up not being here, but going through all those things, I bear witness to it because, they had to keep sending me, kept interrupting what I was doing, even when I was with you.
I understand.
Man, Mr. Rick, back in the joint,
Yeah.
I hadn't gotten there yet.
Right. And that's an example, but you still, with the interruption, we're still trying to go there.
Exactly.
See, not
striving.
giving up. Yeah, that one day I get it
gonna
together.
get there because I believe that that's where God wanted me to go, but I was confused in worldly matters.
Yeah, but with the spiritual understanding, you see, best thing. More out here not learning the lesson.
Exactly. Hey,
You know what I mean?
I totally
and that
agree.
other thing behind you now.
nah, it's way behind me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now my
Yeah.
relationship with the Creator has made me understand and gave me the harmony to be able to work on manifesting what I saw.
Well, you learn as a man that your punishment ain't for punishment, it's for understanding,
Thank you.
elevation.
And that's
It's
what I
not
accepted.
to hurt you.
No, it was to
You
make,
got love.
man.
So, when it come to you, okay, Clark, that ain't to death.
No.
That slow down, rest, I got a few things to say. This is where
Exactly.
we learn to understand and
Bam.
be able to deal with the situation. Otherwise, I'd be moaning by the cloud. Oh,
For
okay,
what?
God. Situation. And this is how I live now. When I used to rush to places, I get there when I'm
When I
supposed to
get
get there. You know what I mean?
I'm
And
the
it
same
show
way.
that God is in charge that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do it myself anymore.
I just believe I'm on a mission. I believe I'm different. I believe I'm special. I believe I got a gift. I believe by evidence that I'm able to change the minds of kings and queens everywhere.
You young people hearing this, you got to know this. It starts with you, in you.
And not to harm, but to showing you that as a better person than the one that you presenting. And that's what happened when you see Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, Lil Jon, Big Daddy Kane, Twister. So many of them have come up under the umbrella of the fellowship of famous players, and it have been a reward and a gift to them. For each one that have came, once they was under this banner, Hollywood took them back and they exceeded.
Exactly.
Each one of them.
And since you say that, let's look at this for a moment. Why do they call you church?
I tell people a lot of people have misconstrued an understanding of the word, and
Thank
it
you.
have nothing to do with the Church of God as
Right.
in marking in it or anything. And as we even said, we say it different, and we spell it
church.
different. And I want you to know when God come back, He not coming back for a building made with hands. No way. He say He coming back for you or me. So don't think it's no disrespect with the word. As a matter of fact, the word is a greeting.
Exactly.
It means God bless you.
Exactly.
It means how you doing. It means I'm glad to be in fellowship with you.
Wow.
Everybody is church. The Bible said the church is in us.
Right.
Jesus said, upon this rock I build my church. We are the church. We nothing wrong here. You are the church. So when I said church, I'm blessing you. I'm saying God bless you. I'm saying have a warm day. Enjoy yourself. And I'm glad to be in fellowship with you. And I say anybody church because you can be in any surrounding. Somebody holler church, I look, he look.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
For
Because
real.
we are the church.
For real.
You can be somewhere. You hear it out, ring out anywhere. You know you got a fellow brother.
Hey, where you at?
Yeah.
For real.
Somebody knows
I'm
something.
connected.
Yeah, when they say that in one way or another, and the word have become so viral.
Man, and powerful.
It's all over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a color barrier.
Hey.
Everybody be glad to say church.
Ain't it?
So now those that didn't know it, when you greet it like that, it's a warm greeting.
Wow.
Somebody cares. Somebody saying God bless you. In the form that you can receive it like a street form. God got his ways of getting to us individuals.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So if it had to be through a form of a word like that,
Exactly.
it's international. Ain't that amazing?
I've seen it work, man. I've been in towns, man, and had some situations, nothing violent or anything like that, but was be able to make that phone call and that person will say, church, what's going on? I explained my situation. That situation was fixed.
Church here.
The church in the
When
house.
they say that, they there.
I'm here.
Yeah.
You know
the
what I'm
church is
saying?
here, you know.
Hey, man,
yeah.
we got you.
Well, I like that because, see, what I like about myself at the international, that I got brotherhood all over the world.
Hey, okay, wherever you go.
They have attended the international player ball, you know, from as far as Russia. One guy from Russia won the Player of the Year award.
Ain't that something?
It's amazing how the player ball, the unity, and I love it. You know what I mean? I love the honor and the respect of my brother, not because I'm no better than them enough, but they respect because of the knowledge and the journey that I have taken.
Thank you.
To open up doors for them.
And thank you.
And they know that's what I do. I kick down doors for players, man.
And you've been
I
kicking
take the
them
heat.
down.
I ain't got no problem with it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm representing. You don't have to worry about when you send me for your representation that I'm going to come there and let you down. I'm going to be suited and booted
And I'm gonna come
ready
correct.
to skin it.
Hey, you ain't never showed up the wrong way as long as
Ain't going to show out.
Totally. Ain't gonna get the job done.
Going to get the job
I know
done.
when you and I were working together, I had just one goal. My goal was to put it together and get you to the table. Because once I get you to the table, it's a done deal. I know you're going to handle it.
And that's the way it is. You know, like I said, I come like it is. You know what I mean? Hollywood, they still working on the life story books. It's going to happen.
Beautiful.
It's going to go down. I ain't in no rush. I got a beautiful book out right now that's giving it to you in the rear. It was the number one bestseller in New York for 3 weeks on the chart. It's getting you the inside raw grit. I mean, somebody you didn't know Iceberg Slim, but you know Bishop Don Matthew Juan.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And the autobiography is really telling it like it is. And I looked to do the story. You know what I mean? I spoke with 50 Cent people about it. I had many deals in Hollywood about it. It's going to happen one day.
It's going to happen.
And I want it to be right. I don't want straight to video. I don't want low budget. I want, somebody to be able to executive produce $15, $20 million. We want it like it is, the real deal. I don't want all of that added to it, fake to encourage, because we got enough of real gang to make it happen.
You know, on this show, this is the original OGs. And when I'm thinking OG, I'm thinking next level. This is not, no disrespect to anyone, but I'm thinking next level, so when we say that's OG, that's an original OG, we're talking about somebody who has made a journey and they have earned the right to get in that space. When you define an OG, how do you see that?
It's about somebody that's been around the block.
Thank you.
That's exactly how we feel.
Thank
If
you
I
very
say to
much.
you, that's OG automatic, I ain't got to explain to his history. Automatic, you
It's
know,
self-explanatory.
he been through something. He didn't live to be past 21.
Hey, man.
Simple as that.
Hey.
And, you know, based on when we talk about, most of those G's we know didn't put in work.
Man, they done put
Straight
in a
from the
lot of work.
concrete.
You know, and the second part of the way we define it is they've gotten to a point in their lives to whereas they are now using that experience to make the world a better place. We're not trying to bring people down and destroy things. We're making the world a better place. That's your story. That's where we're at with that. And that's how we see it for everyone. I don't decide who's an OG or who is not. That is not why I'm sitting here. This is a platform to give the OG the opportunity to voice himself. That's it.
And an opportunity for the young guys to become old.
Thank you. That's what we want to show you so that you don't get taken out the game when you shouldn't. This is where you can come and you can extract knowledge and you can build your system that will get you there. And we want you to get there. Trust me, we're trying to set an example. As you were saying back in the 70s, I would look at guys and see different things and say, okay, I like that. And I would begin to take parts of what I saw from them and incorporate it in myself. And then I began to build the package that I thought that belonged to. And in the end, it became what it is now. And that's an OG to me. I've made that journey. Oh God, have I made a journey. But I have many friends like this that I have taken from to incorporate in me to help me become me. So we want to give the audience, younger people, no disrespect to you, we want to give you something that you can take from to help build you and be around here and help make this world a better place. I hope that makes sense to you. But we're going to keep it moving. And we're going to talk about 50 years, man. 50 years of your life you have dedicated to this part of life. You said that you were going to celebrate the 50 years of the 50-year Players Ball and give that to the world.
Out of no other organization, you know, they just had 50 years,
50 years of hip-hop.
I already told them, I am hip-hop.
Yes, sir.
It could be no hip-hop without me.
Yes, sir.
But 50 years of player ball, and
Wow.
we talking about pimping, playing, hustling, nightlife. The stress of that in itself. For some to be able to live today that have witnessed that yesterday
Wow.
is an amazing journey.
It really
To
is.
bring it to 50 years. The first player ball that I threw was October the 12th, 1974.
Wow.
And I throwed it at the Daniel Hare University on Laramie in Chicago.
Wow.
And with that understanding, a lot of people say, go to Vegas. You know, if Snoop let you do it at the compound. But ain't nothing gonna give you that feel
Wow.
like having it here in Chicago.
Where it all began.
And I'm hoping we can do it where we sit.
When you said to me and my partner that you wanted us to participate in that with you to help make that the biggest possible thing that we could make it, I tell you right now, brother, if we come together on that, we're going to give you exactly what you want.
It's bigger than life, man.
I know that.
It's bigger than life. It's so amazing. Every rapper, every movie star, every
Amen.
human being, every man, every woman at one time in their life was a part and wanted to be a part of that.
Exactly. Standing in front of it yourself for that many years. And now it's your turn to give it back to the world. Hey, my partner and I, we want nothing else but to be a part of that because we believe that we can match your vision. I'm a person personally, see, I know you. I know
Well,
what I'm dealing with.
and there's no misunderstanding that I know you know. So you have the true understanding. We worked together so many
So
years.
many
We
years.
played together, you know,
Yes,
we
sir.
had fun. So we know both sides, the serious and the fun
Yes,
side
sir.
of it, you know, and the business, you know what I mean? So you understand. And as we said earlier, going back 25, 30 years ago or something, you know what I mean? Still with the same understanding that you can do it.
Yes, sir. Right now.
You know what I mean? That I believe in it, that you can do it.
And I
You
believe
know?
and I know that my partner and I can do it because what makes me so confident is that I know you well enough to be able to give the world what you want to give them because our friendship started out with me having the desire to give the world what I saw in you. Ain't nothing changed.
Yeah.
You know, so again, if you can't see God in it, I don't know what to tell you.
It's a phenomenal moment, man, and a time, and you know what I mean? Like I say, I don't brag on myself, but I know what God is doing through me,
Thank you very much.
man. And it ain't never been a brag, but even those that attached to me, God show favor, and I see that.
I bear it witness.
Yeah, yeah.
I bear it witness.
And any that have given to me, in whatever way they have given me, God has gave them a profit reward because of the assist.
Exactly.
And I know this, I see this, and I'm not jealous of what God give you because of what you did for me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I see it, and I don't have to say it and stuff, but I know it's God. You know what I mean? And,
Period.
man, you know, like I said, I definitely feel like I'm a special kind of child, like my mother said.
Right.
I mean, I have seen so much that have dictated that and sort of proven that to me. You know what I mean? That
You know-
this is the way it is. You got that. I've been in different positions where places that I wouldn't normally be just for me, but it's the mission that I'm
Exactly.
on. And I have to be there, you know?
Hey, man, I can remember I used to have a favorite thing to do with you. And I can remember we would be in Vegas in some of the biggest hotels and casinos in the world. And I would say to you, church, let's stop and pray. And we would stop in the center of the casino and church would pray. And everybody in that place would get connected to that prayer. I'm saying that to say, I want the audience to know that this is a very spiritual human being. You know, this is not a game. Media plays and this, that, and the other. No, this ain't that. I'm bringing it to you in the raw. I want you to know what it is, you know. And here you're getting a chance to see something that the world has never saw. And we're finna do 50 years of this. You're gonna be amazed. Here's a person that is taking what he has in his journey and he's giving it back to make this world a better place. And he's a good person in doing it. God has brought this brother a long ways to
And
be able to do this.
And I never boast about my humanitarian work. Over the years, I have given to the kids,
Year after year.
Easter basket. I have given to the senior citizen. This has been going on since the 70s. Turkeys, I did it every year up until the date. I
Yes, sir.
give back clothing, money. I do all of these
All of
things. I
that.
do my own. I don't have to have a fundraiser to help somebody.
Right.
Just like last night, we had a big function called
Exactly.
Family and Friends. all the food, all the drinks, all the music, giving back. Because, see, a lot of people don't understand giving open up your receiving.
Exactly.
I learned that a long time ago.
Exactly,
Back in the
bro.
days, the pimp used to say to me, man, why you giving these folks this money? Why you feed them like this? Why you giving these turkeys out? I said, I don't know,
They're
but
my blessing.
something leading me to do it. When they was giving out the government cheese and the butter and stuff, I would go get 200 or 300 chains to singles and go down the line and give everybody $2 and the older people $3 just to buy something to go with that butter or that cheese.
Wow.
I did all of this, and I always continue every year since the 70s.
Wow.
Thanksgiving, turkeys out to people. I don't boast about it. There's
People
been
need to know
almost 50
that.
years of that.
People need to know that.
With my own money. I ain't
Exactly.
beg nobody to do nothing.
Never ask for a
and folks
sponsor.
look forward. I even give turkeys out to the Pimpton player. I don't care. I give them out to people. If you want one, I give it to you.
Exactly.
And I've been doing this since the 70s, man.
I bear that witness.
Easter, I give out 100, 200 Easter baskets to kids.
I know those things
Backpacks,
to
back
be
to
true.
school supply.
You've been doing that
Every
so
year.
long, it's crazy.
It's what I do, man, and I don't, brag about it, but I just feel led. Like the pimp said, you're going to need that money, probably so.
Hey, but if the Lord bless me with the money to be able to do this, then he'll bless me with some more money. It's real simple. That has come to a point of the show I want to take and put a little spin on it for the audience because they're my big brother. I need y'all to know that. They're my big brother. He's been a friend of mine, a guide, you know what I'm saying? He's done so much for me in my life, man. We've been together so many times, it's insane. On a regular basis, we would all meet up on Madison every day to decide what we were gonna do, and that would go on until 2, 3 o'clock in the next morning, so this is not just an interview. This is personal to me. And one of the greatest things that has manifested in our relationship was when he gave something to me that meant the world to me. And I asked him if he would, because we were in California and I happened to get away for the moment, and it was such a surprise that I didn't know it was coming, and I wasn't present when it happened. But I'd like for him to be able to make it present for me because it's a special moment for me. I would like to ask him if he would represent it to me.
Right now. Let me read it to the audience. The Don Juan Players Ball Lifetime Achievement Award 2022 was presented to Mr. Rick in Hollywood, California, from the Archbishop Don Juan, which will be represented to Mr. Rick on the OG show.
Wow. Did you hear me?
Congratulations, Mr. Rick. All
Thank
of
you,
them
sir.
things we talked about.
Yes, sir.
This here showing you that I believed in you.
Thank you very much. And I knew that when it said lifetime, that's the highest award you can get from the Archbishop, the Lifetime Achievement Award.
That's it, yo.
And there are many people that have this, big time people.
Yeah.
I mean, we be here naming them for quite a while.
Iconic.
Man, but for him to,
Congratulations.
no, brother, I
Yeah.
want to hug you.
Righty. Church.
Hey, man, I want to thank you. It took a while for me to, and my partner to be able to get you here in the right setting, but as you can see, we rolled out the green carpet for you, bro.
Appreciate that.
I wouldn't have it no other way.
Yes.
It had to be top of the line.
Yes.
And it took us a while to be able to get it in that space and get it where you had the time to do it. We talked about it. You said, make it happen. Hey, my partner went the extra mile. And
Well, it's amazing too, man. And I just had a flashback about a mother and a daughter.
wow.
It was a time, when we were discussing about, how God changed my life and, you know what I mean? But the time that I was pimping, I had a girl that worked at a certain area in Chicago, and at the time, I was involved in that pimp life. I didn't allow my girls to date blacks.
Right.
I mean, reasons because confusion and a lot of other things. And this certain incident took place where a guy rode up on the girl and wanted to date her, and she didn't want to date him.
Wow.
And he shot her.
Wow.
He shot her about 5 times.
Crazy.
And she was taken to the hospital and everything. And my sister called me and said what had taken place.
Right.
So I told my sister, let's go to the hospital together. I got to the hospital, and this girl was all with tubes in her. That, hey, man, they trying to save her life.
Right.
So when I stepped in there, her mother was there, and the girl looked up at me and she said, "Daddy, I wish I can get up from here so I can go get your money."
Wow.
Her mother looked at me, she said, "What have you done to my daughter?" I said, "Nothing, ma'am." I said, "That's just true dedication." Here this girl had tubes in her, about to die, a couple of bullets in her head. And as soon as I walked in, she more concerned about getting out the bed to do my bidding than laying there about to die. And her mother said, "What did you do to my daughter?"
Wow.
And I told her it was just dedication, man.
Wow.
And it's amazing, man, that journey there in life,
Wow.
things like that make you OG.
You see what I'm saying? And that's where we're going with that.
Yeah.
And I hope you all can appreciate the information that we just shared with you. You can go nowhere and get this information. I promise you that. This story we just told today, this story ain't never been told. So I hope you received it, and I hope you digest it and do something with it that will benefit you. So we appreciate you. I appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you. Glad to be here and glad to be able to share something.
Yes, sir.
Every little bit helps. So if you got a
Believe that.
show like the OGs, you can only expect to get more knowledge.
Yes, sir. That's where we are with it.
Yeah, all of your ancestors ain't from Africa. Some of us around here in Chicago. It can be very helpful to you.
Believe that, and with that, we're going to say, hey, that's it. That's all. We have created this show so that men and women alike can come forward and tell their truth. If you have people that you believe to be an OG, go into the comment section, write us, let us know where to find the history so that we can authenticate it, bring them on the show, tell their story so that we can add to the American history. That's it. That's all.
The original OG.
The original OG.